Welcome back to the Welsh Show. Now, you might remember a few weeks ago, Paul went for a very special cooking lesson with our very own Giovanni, which you had a great time at, I think.
I had such a great time. I decided to take our guests back down there.
Yeah, because you did confess all you can cook is takeaway pizza, Joe, is that right?
Well, sort of, yeah. No, not good.
And how was the lesson?
It was good, it was good. It was nice to eat the food afterwards as well.
It was fantastic. We had a lovely night with Giovanni. I took Nathan and Joe down a couple of nights ago. Have a look what happened.
So welcome to Giovanni's kitchen tonight. Tonight with us we've got cooking. The undefeatable champion is Joe Calzaghe. The current undefeatable champion is Nathan Cleverly. So boys, let's start cooking, shall we?
Yep, let's go.
So tonight we're going to cook two dishes. Nathan's going to cook a meat dish with pasta, which has got fillet steak, chorizo sausage, pancetta, and chicken. That's going to be cooked in a beautiful sauce with a nice plate of pasta. Joe Calzaghe? Here we're going to do the fish side of it. So we've got some beautiful tuna, mussels, prawns, selection of mushrooms, some nice courgettes and olives. Nathan, if you can very quickly just put the chicken on. And Joe, if you just slice up one very thinly. Watch your fingers, we need those fingers to be in good condition when you knock out this next opponent.
These hands are worth a lot of money, you know. So what's next with the steak, Joe?
Right, a little bit of olive oil, a bit of onion. I'll throw the steak in as well. Perfect. Throw some bacon in there. Right, Joe, if you now start. Put the garlic as well. Do the garlic with oil, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, perfecto. Perfecto! In fact, you know, before a fight, what do you normally eat?
To be honest, yeah, I'm on a diet all the time, so I don't really eat much.
You just drink water and then fight.
Drink water, yeah. Quite
Just to get this across, Joe Calzaghe used to box faster on Giovanni's pasta. Nathan Cleverly boxes faster on Giovanni's pasta. Okay, put the tuna fish in now.
I like sushi, so I like it.
Oh, okay, well, there's some on the side you can have a little roll.
I don't know.
Okay, Nathan, you put a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yep.
Right, Joe.
Yep.
Put the courgettes in first. That's it. Then we'll stir. No, Nathan. Yeah. Put some chorizo sausage in now.
Yep. That's good.
Now this will be on the website. If you want a recipe, then go to www.thewelshshow.tv.
Smells good.
Okay, now round three, we're going to add some mussels and a bit of some prawns.
No mushrooms.
Yep.
No mushrooms. Peppers.
Just two or three of those if you want. There's not many. Okay. That's it. Right, as it's a special occasion, we thought we'd do something special. So we couldn't find a Joe Calzaghe or a Nathan Cleverly, so we found a George Foreman grill. So hopefully, in the next few years, we'll have a Joe Calzaghe and a Nathan Cleverly grill. Right, that's good. So get the chicken now. That's it. Pop it onto the plate. If you notice, I also put a pepper on there because that gives it a bit of flavour as it's cooking, you know. Right then, that's it. Now then, a little bit of red wine in here. Joe, a little bit of white wine in yours.
How much?
Go on, how much you want?
All of it?
Yeah, all of it. Now the next thing, Nathan, if you put some tomato, fresh tomato in there now.
Yep.
Perfect, that's it. Ready? I used to enjoy cooking for Joe before and after this fight when he was,
Back in the day.
yes, he was fighting and the best in the world. We cook with Nathan quite often, and Nathan, I notice you're very fussy when you eat. There's never a bit of fat on your fork.
No, my food's got to be spot on, and this, you know, with the chicken and using the George Foreman grill, you know, draining out all the fat. This is perfect for me.
Last thing, two or three tomatoes. Yeah. Same with you now. Put your pasta in it. Bang that in there. That's good. A little bit of cream. That's the one. Beautiful. Mascarpone cheese. So here you have it. Rigatoni ai quattro carne e conchiglie al pesce di Giovanni. Shall we eat, guys?
Let's eat.
Here we are, Paul. Unfortunately, there's not much left, but let me know which of the two is a knockout.
They both look great, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Guys.
Oh, guys, that looked like loads of fun. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good fun, but the eating bit was the best bit afterwards, so I really enjoyed it. It was
You
good.
inspired to do more cooking at home now, Nath?
Yeah, it's a great recipe. You know, with the carbs, the pasta, and the protein with the meat. You know, it's good for a boxer's diet. So, I'll be making more of that stuff.
Giovanni, a good teacher as well.
He is good. He is good. You know, he's a good teacher. You know, he's good. New recipe to learn there, so that's all right.
And you know him, so you can't say no. Otherwise, he'll have a word with you after.
Well, exactly. He's waiting over there. It's brilliant, you know. It's excellent.
Now, Nathan's 5th title defence is at Wembley Arena on March the 16th. And as we mentioned, there's buses going from Bargoed, Cardiff and all over the valleys to go and support our latest homegrown champion.
Yeah, so if you want tickets, go to nathancleverly.co.uk, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, nathancleverly.co.uk, all the details are there.
Now, every week on the Welsh Show, we feature a musical guest in the Music Wales studios, and we try to feature all types of music from across Wales. And this week in the studio, we have the one and only Amy Wadge.
Now, I'm right in thinking that she co-wrote Ed Sheeran's songs.
She's co-written quite a few songs, Ed Sheeran, yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Let's have a look at her.
Hold me in your arms. I see that I am all you need, and you'll keep me safe from harm. Tell me all that you believe, 'cause I can see your
We're just watching Hold Me by Amy Wadge, and Amy's here in the Music World Studios. Amy, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So that's about 5 years ago, and in the last 5 years or so, though, you've become probably Wales' most prolific and sought-after songwriter. How has that all happened?
I mean, it's probably as a result of having children, really. If that was the real reason that I kind of shifted my focus from being a singer-songwriter to a songwriter. I obviously do still do the singing, but the songwriting has been the big focus, and principally because I didn't want to kind of tour as much as I used to. And so I signed a publishing deal around the same time as that video, and with the kind of intention of doing a lot of co-writing for other people. And basically it was just very, very lucky that the people that were sent down in the early days were have gone on to be pretty successful.
So the record company started sending you young, fresh-faced singer-songwriters to work with you, and one of the first ones that came along was, go on, drop the name.
It was Mr. Ed Sheeran. In fact, he was honestly the first one that my publisher hooked me up with. I kind of got a call and to say that he was at Treforest train station, and I kind of drove over, pulled up and saw this kind of 17-year-old in shorts, thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to have to talk about? And we just totally hit it off, and it was just a very lucky thing, really.
Great. And you wrote a load of songs together.
We did. So in that first week that he first came down, we wrote 9 songs in 2 days, which I've never, ever... I mean, there was a kind of naivety of doing the co-writing thing first off, and now I look back and I think, God, I do proper demos for record companies once the artist comes down. But with Ed, we just kind of wrote. So we just did these quick recordings in the room and sent them off, and then he came down, sort of 3 or 4 times again, and over the course of sort of 3 years, and he released the initial set of songs and called it Songs I Wrote with Amy. And then when he got signed to Atlantic, he called and said, can I come down? And the next time he came down, when I picked him up, he was being mobbed by teenagers.
Right, yeah.
And it's just been this kind of steady, well, not steady, it's kind of overnight now, and it's just lovely to just be a part of it.
Yeah, and he's kept in touch, of course, all along the way. His success,
Yeah, we went to the Ivan Novellos together last year, and bless him, whenever he's kind of near, then we kind of go and see him, or we'll see. I had dinner with him a couple of months ago, and it's quite hard now because he's away, and he's in America now to the end of the year. So I always worry a little bit if he's eating properly and all the things like a mum would worry about. But yeah, we're still in regular contact.
Great. And so the record companies are now sending you more and more young, fresh-faced young singer-songwriters.
I think the game that I'm in is, once you have a kind of a name on your CV, and certainly a name as big as Ed, then all of a sudden, it makes things a lot easier. And so I've noticed, particularly in the last 18 months, that whereas before I worked very much with development acts, I kind of am getting people that are either signed or just about to be signed. And I've kind of, I've written for like the Saturdays, and I've been up to Psycho to do kind of a camp and for them, and so there are elements that it changes. But my latest one is Lewis Watson, who's signed to Warner, and we've he's doing like really, really well. But I've got a few people kind of coming out that I would imagine this year are going to really break. And
Right.
and so, yeah, it's just so exciting. It's
Great.
so lovely.
And of course, you're still doing your own stuff as well.
I
and
am.
your latest CD is with your songwriter partner and performing partner, Pete Riley.
Yeah.
Afterglow is the second album you've done with Pete, and I must say I've got this in my house, and I play this on a Sunday afternoon, and I absolutely love this album. 17 is my favourite track on the album. It's a lovely song, and you're going to play us out with that later, so that's fantastic. So this year you're going to be touring to promote this album?
We're just about to do a pretty big UK tour. So we start in March, and we're basically last year, because I was doing so much writing, we kind of lost a bit of balance of gigs, and we both decided this year, because we've got the new album out, that we're really gonna go for it. And so we're kind of doing March all the way to the end of the year. So we're kind of up and down the UK, but we're playing kind of Wales we're playing Swansea Grand, and we're doing quite a few dates in Wales in March, and the Tangled Parrot in Carmarthen as well, and the Torch in Milford Haven, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're doing quite a few Welsh dates, and but yeah, because I still love playing live.
Yeah. So as well as touring extensively this year to promote the album, unfortunately I hear you have to go to Los Angeles to write some songs.
I thought about that for about 1 minute. I've been working with a girl called Katrina who stateside kind of is doing quite well, and it's my first one where somebody flew over from the States to work with me, and it was during the snow, so there was a bit of a nightmare of whether she would actually get to the house, and but we really hit it off, and she said that the management wanted to pay for me to go out and help her finish the album, and 30 seconds I had to think about Beverly Hills for a week. I think I'm gonna go. So,
Absolutely, yeah. Well, Amy, thanks so much for coming in. Afterglow, the CD, Amy, Wadge and Pete Riley, is out now, and I'd like to say I love this album, and I'm delighted you're going to play us out with 17, because it's my favourite song off the album. Amy, thanks so much for coming in, and best of luck for this year. Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you.
It must be great getting to work with all those talented performers.
Do you know she even got to write a song on my latest album?
Yeah, I think that's it for this week. Thanks, Paul. Guys, thank you very much for joining us in the studio. March 16th, Nath, very best of luck.
Best of luck.
You going to go and watch him?
I will be going, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Come on, Nath. Everything crossed for you.
Absolutely.
So I think we should play out with some Amy Wadge.
Bit of Amy Wadge in the studio. Here she is.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dance with me around the living room. Hold this bag of bones and play an old-time tune. When did we get so damn old? The kids now have kids of their own. I still feel like 17, and you still sweep me off my feet. Maybe it's time that we grew up, you and me, until we do. Spin me round the room. Talk to me about all we did. A roller coaster ride. I'm glad I bought a ticket. But I don't recognize this face I see. I'm sure my mother's staring back at me, 'cause I still feel like 17, and you still sweep me off my feet. And maybe it's time that we grew up, you and me, until we do. Spin me round
The Welsh Show is proudly sponsored by Waterstone Homes. Built for life.